talk to me first about what demand is looking like. What kind of increase are you seeing? I know everyone I talk to is spending a lot more time online and on phones, on Zoom, because that's where I talk to everyone now.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. Morning. Yeah, we're seeing huge demand, as you say. We've got pretty much everyone running businesses, large and small, from home now. That's putting a lot of pressure on the network, and of course we've got school children being schooled at home, and of course all of our entertainment services as well, all being consumed, and that's pretty much doubled the network load on our infrastructure. I'm pleased to say it is holding up well. It's interesting, the apps like Zoom and Skype, they don't really cause too much pressure on the network. It's gaming, for example, and video that are the two areas that really put the load on the network. Gaming traffic has almost doubled, so that shows not everyone's working from home. We've seen Fortnite, Call of Duty, even Football Manager in our sort of top three games that are causing load on the network, and of course Netflix and YouTube as everyone's searching for more streaming and video as well. So a lot of pressure on the fixed network, but it's coping very well. And of course on the mobile network, because we've got less people commuting, and the mobile network really gets put under pressure in the morning on the way to work and in the evening on the way home from work, and we don't have that dynamic now with significantly less travel going on, so the mobile network's under less pressure. But tonight, for example, in the UK, where we do the applause for our carers, key workers in the NHS, and the country comes out and wants to video and share those moments, that's when we do see spikes on the mobile network. But so far, our team have done an unbelievable job in keeping the network up and keeping the country connected.
I do admit to spending a few hours a day on Call of Duty Warzone. My gamer tag is Shower Fan, in case anybody wants to battle. Mark, what about the 5G network? This was supposed to be the year of big 5G launches. Are you still going to be able to roll out the network? Are you still going to be able to make a lot of 5G handset sales?
Yeah, so that's one of the areas where it's under constant review, of course, and we're only a few weeks into this crisis, and I suppose we're working closely with the supply chain, both on the supply side and the demand side. So on the supply side, we obviously work very closely with the handset vendors. There's no current change to their roadmaps and plans. On the infrastructure side, we've had to prioritize, of course, sites like hospitals, care homes, places, these new hospitals that are being stood up in the UK, the Nightingale hospitals, getting them stood up for connectivity. And that has, of course, had an impact on things like our 5G rollout in this period. And I guess the thing that's also unclear in terms of how long the crisis is going to go on is the demand side. How is the consumer going to react when we come out of the crisis, and how much demand are they going to have for these more high-end smartphones? So it's still very early days, unclear at the moment, and I'm sure over the coming weeks and months, the picture will get clearer.
How much is investment? How much is retaining your workforce eating into the ability to, or your desire to, pay dividends? Regulators are pressuring a lot of companies. BT is already doing the right thing by workers. Are you going to have to cut your dividend?
Well, as you say, our priority has been on our employees. I mean, the telecommunications workers are seen as key workers. They have been working around the clock, the engineers, technicians, network engineers, making sure that the country's connected and all of this new demand for connectivity is served. We've got thousands of people in our service centres as well, dealing with customer needs and demands, either for new devices or connectivity. And we, as a team, we really wanted to ensure that they felt secure and safe in the knowledge that no roles would be impacted as a result of the coronavirus, because they're working so hard and dealing right at the front line with customers. So that's really been our priority. and our focus. Dividends not a decision for me; it's a decision for our board, and one that we'll do as part of our normal rhythm of full year results and guidance in a few weeks. But my priority and the leadership team's priority at BT has been looking after our workers who are working so hard right now to keep the country connected. And I think the telecommunications industry in general right now is doing a wonderful job in really showing how important we are as an industry and the contribution we can make.
Marc, let me ask you, for our viewers, for our clients, after markets, probably the most important thing is sport, and it's a tough time for that. At BT Sport, are you going to be able to claw back lost revenue from UEFA and Premier League, or how's that going to play out?
Yeah, it's another sort of ambiguous area at the moment of sport as to when we will get sport back on TV, in what format, and which sports will be coming back online when. And myself and the team are in constant dialogue with the two big sports for us. Is the Premier League that in this country, and UEFA Champions League in particular. But we've also got rugby and other sports. I mean, the whole sporting world's been impacted. We have millions of paying customers, impacted by the lack of sport. So we've had to pause or give customers the option to pause their billing relationship with us or donate to the NHS charity. And I'm pleased to say many customers have chosen to donate their monthly sport fee to the NHS, and we're delighted to have facilitated that. And of course, we are in discussions with the major leagues and rights holders that we have relationships with about what this means for us in terms of some form of compensation. But I think until the situation gets clearer in terms of when the season will resume, in what format, or will it be stopped completely, that really changes the game in terms of the quantum of compensation, and it's an ongoing dialogue.